Welcome to the Triathlon Nutrition Academy podcast, the show designed to serve you up evidence-based sports nutrition advice from the experts. Hi, I'm your host Taryn, accredited practicing dietitian, advanced sports dietitian, and founder of Dietitian Approved. Listen as I break down the latest evidence to give you practical, easy to digest strategies to train hard, recover faster, and perform at your best. You have so much potential, and I want to help you unlock that with the power of nutrition. Let's get into it. Welcome to episode 58, where I'm going to give you some insider secrets around the biggest nutrition mistakes triathletes make and how to avoid them. You're going to want to listen to this episode right to the end. But before we get started, this is just your gentle reminder to register for the online Triathlon Nutrition Training Camp if you haven't yet. You need to go to dietitianapproved.com/camp if you want to check it out. It runs next week from the 13th to the 15th of September. It's 3 by 30-minute live sessions with me. They're at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time or Brisbane time, which is the night before in the US. But on that page, at dietitianapproved.com/camp, I've actually linked a little time zone checker for you so you can see what on earth time it is in your time zone. But it's all online and it's all recorded. So if you can't make it live, it doesn't really matter. You can catch up the recording at a time that suits you. And then you're going to get me live later on in the day to pick my brain, ask questions, make sure you're not stuck on anything. So there's plenty of opportunity to catch me through camp if you want to. And it's $47 Aussie dollars, not US. It's 47 buckaroonies. Super cheap. It's way cheaper than a greens subscription powder that you definitely don't need. It's also cheaper than a new cycling kit. It's cheaper than a new pair of running shoes. And I would argue that the things that you're going to learn at camp are going to outperform all of those things anyway. So definitely go and check it out. Check out the schedule over the 3 days. I'm going to fast track you when it comes to triathlon nutrition, give you a bit of a leg up so that you've got yourself sorted and you've got your shit together and you're organized, because eating properly is not difficult, but it does take a little bit of knowledge and skills in this space. So I'm going to help you through that. Other exciting thing that's happening, oh my God, doors to the Triathlon Nutrition Academy program open tomorrow morning for the last time this year. This is the last chance you can get help from me for 2022. So you need to go and check out all of the details on the Academy page, dietitianapproved.com/academy. It is the best triathlon nutrition program in the world, but hey, don't take my word for it. Here's one of our awesome members, Jason, and what he thinks about the program inside.
My name's Jason Curry. I'm 41 years old and I've been doing triathlon for about 8 years. I joined the Triathlon Nutrition Academy because I realised how little I knew about nutrition, and I was surprised as I've learned more through the program just how I even completed the races that I've done, let alone finished in a decent spot. The biggest lesson I've learned from the program would be how little I really knew about nutrition. I'd learned to be afraid of carbs and avoid carbohydrates. I hadn't really done race fueling. I hadn't done recovery. And these are all things that I've learned through the program. How to be better fueled for triathlon, how to be better fueled during triathlon, but most importantly, how to recover from training so I'm ready to go again. So my big goals over the next 12 months, I really want to try for Kona selection. So trying to make Kona in the Ironman triathlon distance. So I'm looking at Cairns in June for that. And so I really need to work on my nutrition and how I can better fuel on the bike particularly. I've just completed 14 ultra events in 12 months, and I'm surprised just completing them really. The more I learned from the program and the Triathlon Nutrition Academy, just how little I knew about race fueling and race preparation. I'd highly recommend the program to any triathlete who's invested heavily in running, in cycling and swimming and realises that they need to work on that fourth leg of triathlon nutrition. Without nutrition, there's no point having a great bike or fast shoes. You just won't get to the finish line.
What a legend. Okay, the biggest mistake triathletes make when it comes to their nutrition. All right, there's many. I'm not going to lie. You definitely need to understand how to recover properly for you. Most triathletes, no offense, suck at your recovery nutrition. You might think you're doing all right, but then when you actually understand what you need to do for you, chances are it's not dialed in properly. And we can really quickly and easily do that when you know what you need to do. You also need to understand how to fuel properly during your training sessions. You need a different strategy for different types of sessions. The season, your body composition goals, your goals of that session, where you are in your race prep, there's loads of things. But what I find with triathletes is that they underfuel typically. And maybe it's because you think if you don't fuel properly or fuel enough, or you think you don't need it, because you think you'll drop body fat if that's the case. And let me just tell you quietly and gently, you're wrong. Sometimes when we fuel better and optimally for what we're doing, we can train harder. And if we can train harder and push ourselves into more of a hurt hole, we burn more calories overall during that session and after, because we're getting fitter, we're getting faster, we're adapting from our training sessions better because we've got the building blocks there to be able to do that. So underfueling is not the answer if weight loss or fat loss is your goal. Triathletes also generally suck at having a plan. They're not organized. I find that they wing it and don't respect their body or their distance that they're doing and the training that you have to do when you train for 3 sports in a week. If you haven't listened to it yet, go back 2 episodes and listen to my little bit of a rant on why long-term health is so important for your performance as a triathlete. It's definitely a good one. And I guess some of the foundations around my thoughts when it comes to nutrition, because we tend to overlook our long-term health and we tend to not respect our body to the way that it needs to be respected. So definitely worth listening if you haven't done that yet. But the biggest mistake that you need to fix, if this is you, is eating the same thing each day. Now, I totally get how this happens. You might have that structure of your work week and your routine Monday to Friday. Unless you're a shift worker, but you have some sort of rhythm when it comes to your food for generally your work week. And so those 5 days, you tend to eat the similar sorts of things because you just do. It's just the pattern that you fall into. So your energy intake kind of flatlines across those days, but your training load is highly variable. You have lighter days, you have bigger days, you have longer session days. So your energy intake needs to better match your energy expenditure. And I commonly see people under eating on those big days, under fuel because you think you're going to drop fat that way, and then playing major catch up later on those lighter or rest days where you're not doing much training. So your energy expenditure is low, but your hunger hormones are just wreaking havoc from those days that you've put yourself into a hole. And so it's sending out all your hunger hormones to make you catch up because you're so depleted. And you end up overeating for your energy expenditure on that day to try and catch up. So that is not the way that we need to think about fueling and nutrition when it comes to training for 3 sports in a week. If you're doing that, there's some pretty key indicators that will tell you and give you signs if that's you. You might feel wrecked by the end of the week. Like come Friday, you're like, oh, I'm done. You might really struggle to drop body fat, and that's because your nutrition's not right. You might be absolutely starving all the time. Of course you are. You're a triathlete, but there's starving and there's like proper starving. You're not performing in your training sessions or in your races, or not to the ability that you're capable of. And you're not really reaching your goals, whatever they might be. Are you a triathlete sick of fumbling around in the dark with your nutrition? Is nutrition the missing link in helping you reach your goals? And do you want to maximize your training efforts and level up your performance? Of course you do. Come and join me for free at Fuel School. It's a free 3-day live and online nutrition training week. And I've designed it to give you the nutritional edge in 2024 and lay the foundation of your day-to-day fueling and race nutrition. It's on the 14th to the 16th of January, 9 a.m. Brisbane time, so Australian Eastern Standard Time every day, which is 3 p.m. PST, 5 p.m. CST, and 6 p.m. EST on the 13th to the 15th of January. To register, head to fuel.school, www.fuel.school, Whether you're a seasoned triathlete or just starting your nutrition journey, this free event is your opportunity to learn from an advanced sports dietitian and triathlon nutrition specialist and transform the way you approach your nutrition for 2024. Fuel.school, it's free. I'll see you there. Eating for triathlon is so different to any other sport. If you've come from a gym program or just running or a completely different sport altogether, you need to respect the training and the nutrition that intersects together to feel supercharged. When you have that dialed in, you'll have more energy, you'll get to your ideal body composition and it'll be easy. It's not going to be a struggle and pushing shit uphill. You'll recover faster. You'll perform better in your second, maybe third, maybe fourth session for that day and not be stuck on the couch after long rides. I always get my athletes to know and understand and learn to eat differently on a rest day, a double or a triple sort of session day, a long ride and a long run day. When you have this right, you know how to scale up on big training days and scale back on lighter and rest days, but not feel like you're starving and depriving yourself to do that. There's some strategy around periodization that I can teach you to make that whole process easy so you don't have to count calories. You don't have to track your expenditure on your watch and all those sorts of things. You don't have to dial it in to the nth degree. I can teach you how to do that the easy way, and you'll feel so much better for it. You also decrease your risk of injury and illness if you get this right. And making some tweaks here, you'll feel less tired, you'll feel less fatigued, and you're going to get better bang for your buck out of your training sessions. No more junk miles. We don't have any more time in our days. So let's make the most out of our training sessions by layering in nutrition to maximally support that. I call that the supercharged zone, where nutrition and training intersect, one of those Venn diagrams. When those two things are layered on top of each other perfectly, that little sweet spot in the middle is where you want to be. That's where you're going to feel amazing. And it's not until you feel that you think, how did I survive without that before? I'm a huge believer that you can't out-train a bad diet. I'm sorry, but you can't. You might be doing 10 to 20 hours of exercise in a week, but you're still not a lean, mean fighting machine. You might be training really hard, but not getting any faster. The body is really smart. We have hunger hormones that are going to work against you. The body likes to maintain itself in this sweet spot or this equilibrium, this homeostatic state of balance. And you throw it out by training hard and not eating, it's going to work its way back to that homeostatic level. But if you can understand how to scale your intake up on those hard days and down on lighter days without being starving, you will lean up, have so much more energy, and perform to the ability that you're capable of. But nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So if you keep doing what you're doing right now, what does that look like in a year's time? Or 3 years' time? Or 5 years' time? You don't need to fumble around on Dr. Google, researching stuff, asking your training buddies, getting nutrition advice from the wrong places. It really is a quick and easy fix, but you need the right information from the right people. If you want to know how to periodize your nutrition properly and make sure you aren't failing at this mistake, we do that in the first 4 weeks of the Triathlon Nutrition Academy program. Week 1, we tick off your recovery nutrition and make sure you get that right from day 1. Then we do your pre-training nutrition so you can understand what types of strategies you need to do for different types of sessions. That's really important as well. And then week 3 and week 4, we're building your meal plan for what you're doing on a day-to-day basis to support training, including diving into periodization the easy way. And then we tackle iron and calcium, 2 really important nutrients you need as an endurance athlete. And then we tackle what you're doing on the bike and what you're doing on the run. So those first 8 weeks are the foundations of everything you need to know if you want to do triathlon for a while. And we'll hit all of that stuff before Christmas so that you can spend the Christmas break practicing, fine-tuning, tweaking and finessing so that next year in January, we can hit the ground running with our race nutrition in phase 2 and 3 of the program. Understanding what to eat in sessions is so important. Here's what Nick found when she learned how to do that properly.
Hi, I'm Nicole Hipkin. I'm 45 and I've been doing triathlons for the last 7 years. The biggest thing I've struggled when I started my triathlon is just hitting the wall after a massive long ride or a long run. And the biggest thing I've got out of the Triathlon Nutrition Academy is literally just the nutrition of eating more and having more fuel on the ride and on the runs. I think probably one of the biggest misconceptions is that to do triathlons, you need to be tall and skinny and just not eat very much. In fact, it has to be the other, and it doesn't matter what size or shape you are. Anyone can do triathlons. The biggest thing, part of being the Triathlon Nutrition Academy, is having the sports dietitian and the community around you to support you through all your goals of triathlon.
I know I'm a little biased, but the Triathlon Nutrition Academy is the best value program in the world. I know because I've looked and nothing else like this even exists. My job is to bring you massive value each and every month. And we do that with a nutrition expert masterclass that drops every week. And we go deep on an element of nutrition that's key for your success as a triathlete. You get me live every week in Power Hour to get unstuck, pick my brain, and help you nail your nutrition. Our phase 3 guys have all just developed their very own 70.3 race nutrition plan. Everyone has a plan for their race coming up over the next few weeks. So it's not that you don't get my time, you don't get my brain. I will help troubleshoot any issue you've got going on. You also join a powerful community of like-minded triathletes that you can high-five along your journey. One of the key things that people love about the program is that they get to meet people from all walks of life. And different types of people have different types of questions that you maybe didn't think about. So everyone's learning from each other as well as me. To make your life easy, you also get access to my ever-growing Dietitian approved recipe database, which is heaving with over 130 athlete-friendly recipes now. And I'm also giving you weekly menu plans so that if you suck at meal planning, menu planning, shopping, writing a list, finding recipes, all those sorts of things, I've done that for you. That's my jam. I love doing that. So every week you get a plan for what to eat for dinners, the recipe that goes with that, and the shopping list to get everything that you need, if that's something that's useful for you. One of the athletes inside the program, Renee, found this really useful when she was traveling, away for work a lot and really busy. They didn't get time to go to the shops. And on the way home, she quickly did an online grocery shop order for everything on that list, had it delivered, and that was her dinner meals done for the week. She didn't even have to think about it. So use that to your advantage. You also get discounts for products and services that we believe in, not because we get paid to promote them. I will never be sponsored by a supplement company, so that you know that if I'm recommending something, it's because it's good, it's evidence-based, not because I'm getting kickbacks to do that. Plus, so much more. It is the best value program in the world. Nutrition can be complicated, but that doesn't mean you need to struggle trying to figure it out for yourself. Every week you can pick my brain. I will answer your questions and help you reach your goals faster. My superpower is translating deep science into information that's practical for you so that you can actually have a plan and know what to do. Doors open tomorrow and we start next Saturday, the 17th of September. This is the last opportunity to work with me for 2022. Doors won't open again until January 2023. And I'm no longer doing one-on-one consulting. Woohoo! It's been a big year and I have 2 tiny little people that need a bit more of my attention for a little while. So make sure you go and check it out, dietitianapproved.com/academy. And if you're not registered for camp yet, make sure you go and do that too, dietitianapproved.com/camp. A year from now, you will wish you had started. Thanks for joining me for this episode of the Triathlon Nutrition Academy podcast. I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions or want to share with me what you've learnt, email me at podcast@dietitianapproved.com. You can also spread the word by leaving me a review and taking a screenshot of you listening to the show. Don't forget to tag me on social media at dietitian.approved so I can give you a shout out too. If you want to learn more about what we do, head to dietitianapproved.com. And if you want to learn more about the Triathlon Nutrition Academy program, head to dietitianapproved.com/academy. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to helping you smash it in the fourth leg. Nutrition!